Welcome back. We are looking at water, and specifically for now, we're going to put much focus on properties of water. What are those properties of water? Let's subcategorize them. We can say thermal properties. Thermal properties of water. What are those thermal properties of water? So something concerned with the temperature, thermal. So one, water has a high specific heat capacity. A high specific heat capacity. Remember we said water behaves abnormally, so it has higher than normal. 2, has a high latent heat of vaporization. High latent heats of vaporization. 3, water has a high latent heat of fusion. Shall expand each, and also water has a lower density at the temperatures below 4 degrees Celsius. Those are thermal properties of water, but you can put another subcategory, say other properties. Other properties of water. Under this category, you can say water has solvent properties. Water has solvent properties. As a solvent, it has its own properties. Sometimes a universal solvent, sometimes, but it does not dissolve everything. It is a polar solvent. 2, water is incompressible. Incompressible. It is incompressible. 3, water flows continuously. All that is on water. So let's expand these properties. Remember, we're talking about chemicals of life. If water has these properties, how do they help living things to be? Let's see. Water having a high specific heat capacity. Of what importance is it? Of what importance is it? So shall get a subheading and say significance of thermal properties. Significance of thermal properties of water to living things. living things. So 1, high specific heat capacity. High specific heat capacity. Of what importance is this? What is specific heat capacity? So you can first begin with that. Specific heat capacity refers to the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a body of 1 kilogram by 1 Kelvin. So heat required just to change the body temperature by 1 Kelvin. 1 kilogram of a body by 1 Kelvin. Heat required to change. So what does it tell us about water? That for you to change the temperature of water from one temperature to another, if the specific heat capacity is high, it means also you require a lot of heat to raise the temperature of water. So of which significance is this to living systems? Of which significance is this? So shall we say that water having a high specific heat capacity means that it does not change its temperature easily as a considerable amount of light, of heat would be needed So now we ask ourselves, how is this of importance to living systems? Go back to that one fact now, that aquatic organisms, the ones that live in water, aquatic organisms that survive in water bodies, therefore almost live in a stable environment. Almost live in a stable environment amidst changing environmental temperatures. Amidst that, so these living things like a fish that stay in water and other living things, almost 70% of living things on earth are in water. Water having a high specific capacity protects them that the water temperature remains stable over a wide range of external environmental temperature. So meaning their enzymatic reactions will continue. So we have ended there and said the temperature remains constant of water bodies. So we can now say this ensures that enzymatic reactions continue normally to support living processes. That is one. So we can also go to another factor and say 60 to 70% of bodies of organisms is water. So as you see me, 70% of me is almost water. So water, therefore, if we consider specific capacity, water therefore ensures that the body temperature of endotherms remains constant as its temperature does not change easily. So 70% of us is water. So this water protects us by saying and the internal environment remain constant, because we move from one area to another. You find when it is cold here, it is warm somewhere, but our internal environment must remain constant. So how is this of importance? It is taking us back, Steve. This helps body processes to continue normally amidst changing environmental temperature. So the temperature in the environment keeps changing from one area to another, but our internal body temperature almost remains constant. Yes, it may not remain constant, but in a constant temperature range. So the temperature in our body remains constant, and this one helps body processes to continue normally. Remember, body processes within us are governed by enzymes, of which enzymes, as we are going to see, are proteins in nature, and they can become denatured, and that's the cause of death. When enzymes become denatured, you can no longer run body processes. Like we saw, you can no longer respire as a living thing. Anything that does not respire does not have life. Let's look at latent heat of vaporization. That is, water has a high latent heat of vaporization. What is latent heat? So latent heat, if I just say it like that, is amount of heat required to change a unity mass of a substance from one form to another at constant temperature. At constant temperature. So amount of heat required if it is vaporization, it will be now amount of heat required to change liquid water to vapor or to steam, water is high. That for us to change liquid water from water bodies to evaporate and form clouds,